Hey guys, my name is Ty and welcome to Ty at Home. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell icon. In today's video, I'll be giving you guys a tour of my smart home. Over the years, I've got a lot of smart home products and I've implemented them into my daily life and used them to make my life a lot more easier. All right, come with me and let's start out with the very first thing, which is my living room. Now, in my living room, I don't have that very many smart technology in here, but the one I do have is the Sony 4K OLED TV. It's a 55-inch display as well, and I've had it for over 5 years now. Now, this TV is an Android TV, so what that basically means is that when my front doorbell, which is the Nest doorbell, once it gets pushed, I get notified on the TV, and I'm able to see who is at the front door on the TV. Now, let's move on to the next thing in my living room. Over there, I do have a LED strip. Now this is a Meross LED strip and it is HomeKit compatible and connects with Wi-Fi. Now this LED strip plays two key functions or roles for me. First being ambience and the second being notification. For ambience, at 7 o'clock in the morning, this light changes to white and it's a very bright white light. So that way it gives me that positive and bright energy to start my day. At 7 o'clock in the evening, it changes to warm white and then slightly dims a little bit to kind of prepare the mood for winding down and more relaxed feel. And over here as well, I have more smart color changing bulbs. I have 5 of them in there. Now this is purely for ambience as well, or for Halloween or Christmas, right? Or if I have people over and I need to have like some cool effects or things like that, but I rarely ever use them. Connects to Wi-Fi and connects to my app as well. I'm able to control it with voice on Alexa or even Google or even HomeKit as well. Now this smart switches control this light fixture as well as my outdoor light. Now the outdoor light I have on my porch is a color changing smart LED bulb as well. I would always recommend getting a smart switch over a smart bulb, because once you don't get a smart switch and you get a smart bulb, anyone that turns off the switch cuts off power and you can control the bulb. But if you have a smart switch, you can remotely turn on and turn off the switch and still keep connection to that light fixture. In my kitchen, I do have a lot of lighting as well as motion sensored control devices. Now, I do have the top fixture right there. Now, the top fixture, I do have a motion sensor right in between there. You probably might not be able to see it from this, but right in there, the motion sensor actually senses for motion and temperature. Now, comparing the smart switch, my motion sensor and all of the light fixtures, I'm able to do cool things like during the morning time or during the daytime from 7 o'clock, the LED strips here come on to maximum brightness, so 100%, and then activates all of the the overhead lights. So when there's motion, all of this comes to maximum brightness that comes on, gives you that bright start of your day. And when motion stops, right, no one here anymore, the overhead light turns off and then all of this kind of just dims down. At 11 o'clock, motion in the kitchen completely gets disconnected. So what that means is that if you come in at 11 o'clock into the kitchen, this overhead light doesn't come on. And then all of this kind of just go completely off, and when motion gets detected, it just comes on to slight brightness, and then once motion stops, everything goes dark again. And then at 7 o'clock in the morning, it resumes again with motion activated overhead light, and then this goes back to full brightness. Now over here, I do have a smart display. Now this is the Lenovo smart display. Picked it up a couple of years ago and it's been fantastic. Now this is one of the central controls of the house. I use it for photo frame when it's not in use, so it just displays all of pictures from my photo album. When it's not acting as a photo frame, it actually provides a means for me to be able to physically control the devices around the house. So I'm able to change my control my thermostat, my light fixtures around the house using physical control or even voice if I choose to. It also acts as a smart display to my front door. So if someone pushes the doorbell, for example, and I'm cooking or having dinner, I'm able to see who is at the front door, and I can actually have a two-way communication with whoever is at the front door. And then I can go ahead and unlock the door from this as well if I want to. Another thing I didn't mention or that's in my kitchen is my faucet. Now this faucet, it's sort of smart, it doesn't have any technology in there. Well, the only technology is the fact that it actually is a motion controlled or motion activated faucet. So if I put something in front of it, it activates the faucet, and then once I do it again, I wave in front of it, it shuts it off. Now, this is my back door. It basically leads to my deck. I do have the Schlage Edition Z-Wave smart door lock paired up with a multi-purpose SmartThings sensor. Now, combining all of this together, I'm able to set up automations whereby once this door has been unlocked for about 5 minutes and it's not locked back, it would check and make sure that there's a contact sensor, there's actually contacts there. Then if there's contact, it would lock the door. If no contact, it wouldn't lock the door. It's going to understand that maybe I'm probably outside having barbecue and I don't want the door to lock, so it wouldn't lock the door. Also, another good thing about this multipurpose sensor is it actually has a temperature sensor built into it, as well as a gyroscope and an accelerometer. So what that means is that if I knock the door, right, it sends me a notification to my phone that there's a knock on the door, because right now I do not have a doorbell on this door, and I occasionally have people trying to get access from the back. That contact sensor actually helps with making sure that the doors are locked, and at the end of the night, 11 o'clock, my smart sensors will all check and make sure that all doors are locked. If it's not locked, it will go ahead and lock the door. Now, one of the good things about this is that I can actually add or remove people from this door lock automatically. So when I used to have Airbnb and tenants, right, I give them code, and once they move out or the Airbnb term is over, I'm able to just remove them from the system and then access denied. Now on the deck as well, I do have a smart color changing bulb as well, and it's paired up to this smart switch. Now this smart switch is a very old smart switch. It's a Z-Wave controlled smart switch. Now this brand, it's called the Quirky Tapped. This was the very first smart switch I bought about 7 years ago. The company has gone bankrupt right now. They don't exist anymore. I'm still able to keep control of my switch because this is not cloud controlled switch, right? So I'm not tied to the company being alive or dead. However, my TP-Link, if TP-Link were to go bankrupt today, this switch will become useless because all of the control is through TP-Link's cloud system. So that's why I try to stick more with Z-Wave switches over Wi-Fi cloud controlled switches. Now, welcome to my basement slash movie theater slash hangout space slash family room. So it's basically a multi-purpose space. Now over here I do have a couple of smart technology in place. Starting over here, I have two dimmer smart switches. Now these dimmer smart switches are from two different companies or two different manufacturers. This one over here is the one from Treatlife. It is a touch sensitive smart switch. So what happens is that I can turn on the light and then I just swipe up and down to adjust the brightness. However, this one is more of a physical touch to be able to actually control the brightness and the dimness of the light. And this one's actually HomeKit compatible, as this isn't, but I am using Home Assistant, so I'm able to get all of them talking into HomeKit. So it doesn't matter whether it's HomeKit compatible or not, but because I'm able to get them to all work with HomeKit. Now, a smart switch is not a smart switch if you can't make it do smart stuff, right? Now over here, I literally never have to touch any of this stuff. I have a motion sensor right there. Now that is the Samsung SmartThings motion sensor. It actually also has a temperature sensor in there, so I can keep track of the temperature in the basement when we are actually hanging out. So I can regulate my thermostat to, regulate the temperature based on the basement instead, right? I can say, okay, run this thermostat until the basement reaches this certain temperature, because invariably you're always going to have different temperatures across the house. The basement will always have a different temperature. I have only a single stage furnace, so having this kind of system in place to be able to actually regulate it when I'm actually down here having a movie time, using that sensor with its temperature sensor built into it, makes it amazing. Another thing it does is it regulates the lighting in the space as well. So with the motion sensor in there, when there's nothing going on here, say anyone just passing by, you come in, it only triggers those two lights, right? So just so you can be able to see where you're going to and make your way into the laundry room. And once motion stops, now that the light turns off. But it plays a different role when we're out here actually hanging out. So another thing is we can actually turn on I have a projector up there. Now that is the BenQ HT3550i. It is a smart projector. It's got the Google Assistant in there, but I currently use it with Alexa. I have a Fire Stick plugged into it because I kind of prefer the Fire Stick overall than the Google system for multimedia content. So I have the Fire Stick plugged into that, and then I'm able to turn on the projector using this over here. Now this is the Logitech Harmony remote. Now this is a smart remote. I'm able to pair up all of my multimedia devices. Once I turn this on, it turns off all the lights, turns on my projector, turns on my sound bar, sets it all up to the right input. It even goes as far as locking all of my doors, right? It locks the doors upstairs, the front and the back door, and then turns off all of the lights upstairs, because when we are down here, pretty much no one is going to be upstairs, so it kind of just does all of that. Another thing it does is it turns off motion sensitivity of that motion sensor. What happens is that now, even if anyone is moving around here, it's not going to turn on the light because it's quite annoying to be watching a TV and then someone gets up and then the light comes on, right? So once it triggers this activity, it disables that, and then also disables the motion sensor upstairs as well. And then once the movie is all done and we turn it off as well, it would power off everything, turn off the projector, turn off the sound system, and then re-enable all of the motion sensor. So it's gonna go back to motion controlled lighting again. Moving on to my bathroom, it is motion controlled as well. I do have that right there, and that is the Wyze motion sensor, and I have it paired up with my Teckin smart switch. So during the daytime, the lights will continue to come on and off as usual. When there's motion, it comes on. When motion stops, it turns off. At 11 o'clock, as part of the evening or night bedtime routine, it disables motion sensor in the bathroom. So the light goes off permanently and then never comes on again based on motion all through the night, because I hate having to wake up out of bed to use the washroom and then the bright light comes on in my face. Over here, I have the very first generation of the Google smart speaker. Now, this is one of the ways I start my morning. With this, I'm able to actually listen to music, jam to my favorite jams, and get myself all pumped up for the day. I'm also able to listen to my news and control all of the things around the house using this speaker by voice. It also gives me things like notification around the house. So if I'm taking a shower, I like to know if any of the exterior doors gets opened.
The deck door is open.
Before we get into my office, over here I do have my smart thermostat. Now this is the Honeywell T5 Lyric smart thermostat. Now I love this smart thermostat because it's very versatile and it supports a lot of platforms. So it is HomeKit compatible, supports Wi-Fi, supports SmartThings, Home Assistant, basically connects to every single thing. I paired it up with all the other motion sensors around the house. So the motion sensor in my office or in my basement or in my kitchen, I can kind of regulate the temperature around the house to an average or based on a certain room. So if no one is home, it automatically shuts off. Welcome to my office space. Now in my office space, I do have a couple of smart technologies in here as well. Starting from the very wall, I do have a smart dimmer switch, but for the most part, I never have to interact or interface with the wall switch. I don't touch it at all. This all happens automatically via my motion sensor. I have the SmartThings motion sensor, same thing. It's got the temperature sensor and motion sensor built into it. So when I come into the office, all of the office lights up. Well, that depending on the time of the day as well. So during the daytime, it comes on to the vibrant white light, right? And you know, everything is all bright and vibrant. And During the evening time, it adjusts the mood as well, and it isn't quite as bright. It adjusts to a warm white. So I'm able to do a lot of those funky stuff as well without having to physically touch any switch, depending on, you know, the time of the day. I have the Phillips Hue LED strip for ambience and notification as well. So if I'm working from home, that actually does a lot of things like notification, right? So if I get emails or if it's raining, I have those little funny things just going on there where it changes the color or it flashes or it blinks, you know, or reminds me to get up and go grab food or something, right? I'm able to do that with that Philips Hue LED strip. I love it. I've had it for over 5 years now, and it's worked flawlessly, and I couldn't ask for more. Of course, what's my office space without a smart speaker? I actually have two. I have the original one, the original Google Home speaker as well here. Same thing as the one in the bathroom. I'm able to control the voice, listen to music, all that kind of shebang, right? And then over here, I have the first generation Alexa's, the smart speaker as well too. I have a lot of first generation stuff. I like to use my tech till the very end, and like to see how far I can push them, and so far
I don't know that one.
Yeah, she's just been crazy right now. But overall, both speakers have kind of deteriorated in terms of their quality. I mean, as new ones have come out, I somehow have a feeling that they've purposely or intentionally slowed down the functionality of the capability of these things, because they don't listen quite as well anymore, and I find myself more often than not screaming and yelling at the damn thing to actually get it to do what I need to do, which is frustrating. So right now they're purely just for music and just for testing purposes, especially the little echo dots right there, testing purposes. But overall, yeah, they're okay. As part of my garage, I do have a couple of smart home technology in here. I do have right there. Now that actually got controlled by this motion sensor. Now again, this is my Samsung SmartThings motion sensor. It actually has the temperature sensor inside of it as well, and it is tied to the smart switch. Now this smart switch is the TP-Link Wi-Fi smart switch, and once motion is detected by this motion sensor, it triggers the switch, and then voila, brings light into my garage. And then once as long as there's still motion in here, the light is gonna stay on. Another smart thing I have in here is my TV. I mean, it's an old LG 43-inch TV. So when I'm walking in here in the summertime, I'm actually able to watch TV, watch YouTube videos, or outdoor, whatever I need to watch. Also, if someone were to push my doorbell at the front, it would pop up on this TV as well, so I get to know if there's someone at the front door or not. Another smart thing I really enjoy and love about my garage is my smart garage door opener. Now that is the Chamberlain MyQ garage door opener, and it is a belt drive. So with this garage door opener, I'm able to set up a bunch of automation as well. So if the garage door is left open for more than 5 minutes, my system would check to make sure that, okay, if it's open for more than 5 minutes, then it would tell me, notify me that it's gonna close the garage door in 2 minutes, just in case I opened it up for a reason, I'm walking in the garage, I can disable that feature. So I also have a different mode where I can enable, which is called like a garage walk mode. Once I enable it, it will disable motion sensor in the garage and disable the checking of the garage door as well. So that way it doesn't keep closing and turning things off. And then when I'm done, I can disable that mode, and then it reactivates all of that mode. So that way it keeps my garage door, make sure it's always closed at all times if I ever forget to close the door. I also have a smart camera in here too. So over there, it is the Wyze Cam, the V2, Wyze Cam V2 camera. It's got motion sensor inbuilt as well as a night IR, so infrared sensor in there. So when this space is dark, you can still see what's going on in here. I really love this camera. This is one of the, it's one of the very best cheap camera as well. It's about 40 bucks when I bought it, and this thing has been a beast. I love it. I'm able to keep track of what's going on in here. I can see to make sure that my garage is actually closed just in case, or you know, I can know if there's anybody at home or not, and I can see what's happening in the garage as well. And this is just one of the very few cameras I have around the house. I mean, at all four corners of my house, I have other cameras, PoE enabled cameras. So these are all axis cameras, and they're outdoor rated for snow, cold, rain, water, all that kind of stuff. And these cameras are not the greatest. They're not the greatest at night, but they're PoE, they're very, very durable, and eventually I'm going to be looking to replace them. I see that there are a couple of other smart new cameras on the market now that I'm exploring. Once I check them out, I'll review them, I'll let you guys know what I think about them. So make sure you stay tuned, so I keep you up to date on products that you can use long term. I'm all about keeping my electronics for as long as possible, right? Well, if you want to continue to get more updates on some of these products I've tried out over the years, and get my views and opinions on some of them, stay tuned on the channel. Make sure to hit the subscribe and the like button. There are a lot of smart products that just got released with CES. I'm kind of excited. I'm super excited and happy to get my hands on some of them so I can review them and see how we can, see if they're actually useful products or they're just junk. Because right now there's a lot of junk products on the market, and some of them are just trash, pure, quite frankly. And I'll be able to help you guys make an informed decision on some of these products. Thank you guys for joining me today on this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.